Louisiana beer reviews. Hen's Tooth by Morland. Well, this is a bottle conditioned English ale. It's 6.5% alcohol. This is a 16.9 ounce bottle, or 50 centiliters. It's brewed in England. It's not as rare as Hen's Teeth, but I did find it at Calandro's. I haven't seen it anywhere else in my beer acquisition experiences. They don't even talk about it on the Morland or Green King website, so I had to look up on Total Beverage Solution. That's the importer for Hen's Tooth, and they had a little bit of information about it. Don't know when it came out, but possibly in 2001. I saw a few video reviews, and some people liked it, other people did not like it too much. It gets an okay, an okay score on Beer Advocate. The bros say it's okay. That'd be like a C, so-so. 50 out of 100 on Rapier and a 46 out of 100 for the style. So the experts are saying it's okay. So I'll try to give a decent review and rating of it. I don't know, they had this on the top shelf at Calandro's right out there, exposed to the fluorescent lights, so who knows how long that was going on. I guess they wanted to make sure it was good and skunked, and they probably succeeded. My experience with beer outlets and skunking and light exposed to clear bottle beers is that they do not take much care. Some of the beer companies do by putting their stuff in these really enclosed 12 packs. You know, they'll enclose it with paper, cardboard to make sure it's not exposed, but the distributors in the beer stores, oh, there's a woodpecker, they're not too careful. They'll go hot, cold. So if you get a beer and it tastes good, it's probably pretty durable. All right. It's a medium, spongy, cream-colored head, and the appearance is murky. There are some bubble streams for sure. It's making a slight crackle, and I would say it's the color of kind of a light to medium brown. There's some tiny bubble streams and then some big bubbles breaking off and going up, so it's kind of weird. You got these little tight bubble streams with little bitty bubbles and some big bubbles, and I do see some little beige chunks floating about. Of course, there's people cutting grass, so there's going to be power equipment out there. You might hear that. This microphone here is very sensitive on this camera. It can pick up all sorts of things, and my old camera from Kodak, the video quality deteriorated with its color, and the microphone never was any good. Okay, this reminds me of the Abbott Ale, although that's lower alcohol. The Abbott Ale has that cellar like thing going on, cellar mold. Trying to see what kind of fly that was up. And I know it's coming from the type of hops they use. It gives it that, I couldn't figure it out at first, last year or before that even. It smelled and tasted like mold of some sort, but it's not. It's the hops. And when you have more experience with the beers, you'll realize you're misapprehending what you're smelling and tasting. Let's go with so sweetness, some breadiness, some even light fruits. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Old Foghorn. I mean, that's a lot stronger ABV, but it has flavor notes that are similar. And what I mean is got the light fruits, the fig, pretty sharp bitterness, noticeable alcohol taste, like a brandy wine. a sharpness to it which I can't describe, but I am familiar with brandies, like maybe E&J brandy wine or something like that, and the Old Foghorn, and I don't know what causes that sharpness, but it's there. It's more in the feeling of the mouth than the taste. I would think the IBUs must be around 25 or something like that, lower than 25 or 25. You get breadiness, bread crust. The mouthfeel is medium to heavy. It's chewy. Think of a malt liquor type chewiness, like, say, I'm thinking of Old English 800, not the high gravity, or even that 7%, 7.5% that's sold on the west coast of the United States. I'm talking about the traditional Old English 800, 6%. You get that chewiness in it. This is similar to that. That's a lager. This is an ale, but it does have those. They do have those similarities. I will say this: the Golden Hen, the old Golden Hen, which is only 4.1% alcohol, it was a lot rougher than this. And Hoggy, he used to do beer reviews, but he gave up on that. He said he was getting tired of talking about it, just doing reviews. He just talks about beer now. But I was watching a review he did, and he was talking about that the old Golden Hen was rough, like it had a granule type thing. And I found it was rough too, a little harsh in the sip. This one has some harshness as well, but it's not over. There's not an overriding harshness. There's there is a smooth quality. I wouldn't say this beer is exceptionally smooth though. It's when the 6.5 is coming through. Okay, when you drink this, you're gonna say this is a strong beer. This has a lot of alcohol. Yes, it's getting into that high gravity range. I say getting into it. It is an ale, of course, like I said, but it does kind of remind me of some American high gravity lagers. Not super high gravity, I mean, you know, mid-range, the 7 and 8s. And it does remind me of the Abbott ale, but it's much weaker than that in the ABV. You know, you don't get the alcohol pickup with the Abbott ale. You do get the sweetness and candy, sugar type thing that you would get with a John Smith's ale. Well, you notice I didn't talk about, it's a nice looking label. The label looks like old-fashioned, like something from the 20s or earlier than that, maybe the teens. But hear the sirens say a little prayer in case they're hurt. It's usually a sign of a car wreck around here. You know, you can see I'm talking about la, 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 with this, so it's kind of complex, right? And it's reminding me of different beers. And the reviews I watched for this beer, most of them were a few years old. There weren't too many recent ones. Any recent ones I can recall. They were, I didn't think the reviews were too good because they were just mostly saying, I don't like this. Or I don't think it's too good. I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch them. I didn't find they were too detailed. I don't know. I'm not ripping on other people's reviews. I mean, I watch them all, so I obviously like them, but and they're interesting. This one's hard to figure out, but think about it along the lines of Old Foghorn, Old English 800, 6%, bottled version. Abbott Ale, a little bit of John Smith's Ale, and E&J brandy. Put those together and you get this. No, not really, but it's what it's making me think of. But I'll tell you what, I really like it. It does have a little harshness to it, but it's not like harsh. I mean, Hoggy was right. That Old Golden Hen, as light as it is, being a light beer, it's kind of rough. But this one is rough in a good way. And I don't know if that makes sense, but you need to buy it and try it, and you just might like it. I paid too much for it. I mean, it was like $5.99 or at least $4.99 at Calandro's. Obviously not worth that price, but you know how beer's going these days, getting ridiculous. But for a lot of beers, but I feel compelled. Oh, you might hear it. The woodpecker's tapping. It's pecking. I really have to give it an A. I mean, it's complex enough, it's rich enough, it's sweet enough, it's alcoholic enough, it's tasty enough, it's smooth enough to where I think, to be fair, I would have to say it's most excellent, an A. So I'm going to go write the written reviews, which I always do after I drink it. Or I got to keep some in there. And if you swish it and pour the rest in, it'll get a little richer. And think of a lot of breadiness and maltiness with this, but good grief, you can feel that alcohol halfway through. It's like hitting you. So you'll start slurring a little bit. Anyway, laissez le bon temps roulé. This is a really interesting beer. It's way better than the Old Golden Hen, I have to say, way better. And I'm going to end this, in my opinion, and I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to New Orleans.